deep within a vast, untamed wilderness that stretched for hundreds of kilometers, far from any paved roads. Two tents were pitched in a small clearing. The only paths through the dense forest were rough, dirt tracks. A young man named Mason was preparing coffee on a portable stove, the aroma mixing with the damp, earthy scent of the woods. He glanced up at the heavy, gray sky. "Looks like we're in for some rain today," he commented to his companion. "I know," replied Liam, the group's leader. His tone was edged with frustration. "And that rain is going to turn this ground into a sea of mud. If that happens, we'll be completely stranded, unable to get back to base." They were part of a four-man team, tasked with prospecting for iron ore and other valuable metals. Liam was feeling the pressure, and his patience was wearing thin. It was early morning, and while he and Mason were ready to pack up, their other two colleagues, Jake and Peter, were missing. "They took the truck 2 days ago," Liam said, his voice tight with anger. "They're incredibly late." Jake was a constant source of trouble. Though younger than Liam, he was sharp and ambitious, with a clear desire to take over as leader. Mason handed a mug of hot coffee to Liam, and they drank in tense silence. Suddenly, the distinct rumble of an engine broke the morning quiet. "They're back," Mason said, a hint of relief in his voice. The truck appeared, navigating the rough track and pulling to a stop near the camp. Jake, a large man with fiery red hair, hopped out of the driver's seat. He was grinning, a sight that only fueled Liam's irritation. "You're late," Liam stated flatly. "Where have you been?" "Hunting," Jake replied, holding up his rifle as proof. "Hunting?" Liam's voice rose in anger. "That's not your job. We don't have time for hunting." "We were only gone for 2 days," Jake retorted, his smile vanishing. "We're not that late. I'm the boss here," Liam shouted, his authority challenged. "And I say we are very late. The rain is coming, and soon this whole area will be impassable mud. We have to leave now." Without another word, Mason began dismantling the tents while Jake and Peter started loading their equipment and boxes into the back of the truck. "Hurry up," Liam urged them. "It's already 10:00 a.m. Let's get moving." Soon, the camp was packed away. Jake took his place behind the wheel, with Liam sitting beside him. Mason and Peter climbed into the truck bed. Jake started the engine, and their perilous journey back to base began. The first 20 kilometers were relatively easy, but then they reached a stream that hadn't been there the week before. "Look at all that water now," Peter yelled to Mason over the engine's roar. The stream had become a rushing torrent. Jake carefully navigated the truck through the churning water. Once they reached the other side, he'd increased their speed, but the rain was now falling in heavy sheets, turning the track into a slick, treacherous ribbon of mud. The truck began to slide uncontrollably. "Watch out," Liam yelled, but it was too late. The vehicle ground to a halt. The wheels spun uselessly, digging themselves deeper into the thick mud. Liam jumped out, followed by Peter and Mason. Jake remained in the driver's seat, seemingly unconcerned. Liam assessed the situation, his anger directed at Jake. "This is your fault. You were driving too fast." He then took charge. "Peter, cut some branches from those trees. Mason, you'll help him shove them under the wheels for traction." Peter grabbed a large machete from the truck. As he and Mason got to work, Liam turned his attention back to the driver. "Jake, get out here and help us." Jake didn't move. "I'm driving the truck," he said coolly. "That's my job. I'm the boss, and I'm ordering you to help," Liam bellowed. Jake remained silent, refusing to leave the cab. Fuming, Liam walked away to help the others. They packed the branches under the tires. "Okay, that should do it," Liam said. "Let's try again." Jake revved the engine. Peter and Mason pushed from the back with all their might. The wheels spun, the engine roared, but the truck wouldn't budge. "Push harder," Liam commanded. Suddenly, with a lurch, the truck shot forward, free from the mud's grip. Peter and Mason cheered in triumph. But in that same moment, a large branch, dislodged by the spinning tire, flew through the air and struck Liam hard on his left arm. He cried out in pain and collapsed into the mud. "Stop the truck," Mason yelled. "Liam's hurt." He rushed to his side. Let me see, it's broken. I'll have to splint it. Mason carefully tied up the injured arm. Thanks, Liam grimaced. Lucky it's my left arm. I can still use my right. By midday, the rain was relentless. The track was a river of mud, forcing Jake to drive at a crawl. They eventually reached a steep hill. On the other side, the path descended towards the largest river in the region, the final obstacle between them and their base. An old wooden bridge was supposed to span it. As they neared the river, Liam shouted, "Jake, look, something's wrong with the bridge." The bridge was shattered, its wooden planks splintered and washed away. Jake didn't stop, driving slowly down to the river bank and pulling up at the edge of the ruined structure. Everyone got out, staring in stunned silence at the rushing, impassable water. "There's no way to cross," Peter said finally. "How do we get back to base?" "We need to call for help," Liam decided. "Peter, take the radio, climb back up the hill, and try to contact base. Maybe they can hear you and send a helicopter." As Peter was getting the radio, Jake stopped him. "It's no use," he said. "That radio isn't powerful enough. We're too far out. No one will hear us from this side of the river. We have to cross it ourselves." "We can't," Liam insisted. "It's too dangerous. We have to get help, and we can't get help from here," Jake argued. "First, we cross the river. Then, we get help." "How?" Liam demanded. "Look at that water." "I have a plan," Jake said. Liam managed a weak, sarcastic smile. "You always have a plan, Jake, and they never work." "Let's hear him out," Mason suggested. "We use the inflatable boat," Jake explained. Liam laughed. "Don't be ridiculous. That boat is too small for 4 people, and this current will sweep it away in seconds." "But we have a rope," Jake countered. "We tie the rope to this end of the bridge, secure it to the boat, and let the current carry it to the other side." "We can try it." "It won't work," Liam said, shaking his head. "It will," Jake insisted. "I'll show you." 2 of us will get in the boat, paddle hard to the other side, and secure the rope to what's left of the bridge over there. Then, one of us can pull the boat back. Despite his doubts, Liam relented. "Fine, we can try." "I'll go first," said Jake. "It's my plan." "No, let me," Peter said. "I'm stronger." "You can both go," Liam decided. "Peter, you stay on the other side. Jake, you bring the boat back for Mason. Then you can come back one last time for me. Peter, take a radio with you." They inflated the rubber boat. Jake tied their long rope to the broken bridge, and Mason secured the other end to the boat. "The water is rising fast," Jake warned. "We need to hurry." He and Peter carried the boat upstream. They climbed in, and the powerful current immediately grabbed the small vessel, sweeping it towards the middle of the river. They fought the water, paddling hard, and managed to reach the other side near the remnants of the bridge. Peter jumped out and tied the rope securely. As Peter remained on the far bank, Jake began the arduous task of pulling the boat back across the river against the current. "Your turn, Mason," Liam said. "I'm going last." "No, you're not," Mason replied firmly. "Your arm is broken. You can't get into the boat by yourself." "I'll help you." "Mason's right," Jake agreed as he reached them. "You need help." Mason helped Liam into the boat. As Jake pulled them across, disaster struck. Liam spotted it first. A massive, uprooted tree was being carried downstream directly towards them. "Look out!" he yelled. The tree's branches slammed into the boat. Jake, holding the rope, lost his footing, and the boat was torn from his grasp. "Hold on to the rope," Liam shouted, but Jake let go and swam powerfully towards the drifting boat. He was a strong swimmer and reached it quickly, grabbing hold and kicking hard to steer it away from the tree. "The boat's free," he yelled to Liam. "Leave the boat." Liam cried, "Save yourself," but Jake wouldn't listen. A moment later, a deafening roar filled the air. "What's that?" Jake asked, his voice filled with dread. "A waterfall," Liam replied. "The current is pulling us over. Leave the boat. Save yourself." "Look," Jake shouted, pointing. "There's a rock ahead of us. We have to reach it." The water churned violently around them, dragging them closer to the precipice. Jake kicked with all his strength, maneuvering the boat towards the small outcrop of rock. "Get ready," he yelled. "Jump for it." As the boat neared the rock, Liam leaped. Jake let go of the boat and swam the remaining distance. They collapsed onto the rock, gasping for breath. For a few minutes, neither spoke. Then Liam turned to Jake, the man who had just saved his life, and managed a grateful smile. "We're not safe yet," Jake panted. "The rain has stopped, but the water is still rising. This rock will be submerged in an hour." They were trapped. The waterfall roared in front of them, and the broken bridge was a distant sight behind them. "We need help," Liam said, his voice weak. "Peter," Jake replied. "He has the radio. He can help us." On the far side of the river, Peter had watched the entire terrifying scene unfold. He knew they didn't have much time. He scrambled up the hill behind him, found a high point, and extended the radio's antenna. "PX-75 calling base. Do you copy?" "PX-75 calling base," he repeated into the microphone, his voice urgent. He waited, listening to the static. "PX-75 calling base. Come in, base." Miles away, an operator named Philip heard the faint call. He'd adjusted the dials. "Hello PX-75, this is base. I read you. What's your message?" "Over." Relief flooded through Peter. "Base, this is Peter. We're in trouble. The bridge over the Sandano River is out. Liam and Jake are trapped on a rock just above the waterfall. We need immediate help." "Over." "Understood, Peter. Help is on the way." "Over." Peter hurried back down to the riverbank. He and Mason watched as the water level crept higher, shrinking the small rock where Liam and Jake were stranded. Jake was now holding Liam, whose arm was bleeding and whose eyes were closed. Then they heard the distinct thumping of helicopter blades. The aircraft appeared over the bridge and flew directly towards the rock. A rope was lowered and Jake grabbed it, securing it carefully around the unconscious Liam. Holding Liam with one arm and the rope with the other, they were slowly lifted into the air. Liam regained consciousness in a haze. "Where am I?" he murmured. Then the memory of the rock, the water, and Jake came rushing back. "Jake!" he cried out. "Where's Jake?" "Don't worry," a familiar voice answered. "I'm not dead yet." Liam's eyes fluttered open. Jake was smiling down at him. Peter and Mason were there too. They were all safe in a medical hut back at their base. Liam's arm was in a clean plaster cast. "You'll feel better in a few days," Jake said. "I feel better already," Liam replied. "But I could really use a drink." "Water?" Mason asked. "No, not water," Liam said with a weak laugh. "I don't want to see water again for a very long time." And for the first time in days, all four men laughed together.